SeaWorld Orlando is the highest attended theme park in the SeaWorld entertainment portfolio, yes, more so than the Busch Gardens parks. Likewise, it also sees the most investment between it, SeaWorld San Diego, and SeaWorld San Antonio. But it absolutely deserves it. This is one of the most beautiful theme parks in the country between its spectacular landscaping and picturesque lake in the center of the park. Now, where can you find SeaWorld Orlando? This park can be found just off of International Drive in Orlando, Florida, USA. It's right in the center of all the theme park madness, with Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort surrounding it just 15 minutes away in either direction. Because of its close proximity to these massive industry giants, it often gets overlooked by tourists visiting the area. But I'm here to say, if you have time, all of you should put a day aside on your Orlando park trip to visit this place. I get that people have priorities and that it isn't worth taking out a Disney or Universal park in your schedule, but if you're flexible, this park has something for everyone. I myself aren't too impressed by the animal side of things because I think it's much more special to see them out in the wild. That said, SeaWorld Orlando does have the best exhibits and shows of the 3 SeaWorld branded parks. This doesn't happen often for me, but last time I visited this park, I actually took time out of my day to see some animals and I was impressed by what I saw. Let's assume the animals don't do it for you though, as they usually don't for me. The primary reason I'd recommend coming here is for their solid roller coaster collection. They currently have 6 on offer with another on the way. That'll be Project Penguin, aka the first Bolliger and Mabillard surf coaster. Now, even with just 6 in operation, they have an incredible variety of thrill rides. Mako is the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster in all of Orlando, which is a statement considering the 9 parks in the immediate area. The ride is smooth and offers some incredible sustained airtime on each and every camelback. Mako is undeniably one of the best roller coasters in Florida, and I make sure to give it several rides each visit. Manta is likely my second favorite ride here, this being a flying coaster by Bolliger and Mabillard. The design tilts riders onto their stomachs and have them soar through the sky in a prone position. Throughout the experience, you'll go through several graceful inversions, but most importantly, that demented pretzel loop after the drop. This is one of the most intense coaster elements I've ever seen. It basically flips you face down onto your back, creating ample positive G-forces. The ride is also decked out with pretty landscaping, rockwork, waterfalls, and aquariums in the queue line. Kraken is the park's earliest thrill coaster, opening in the year 2000. It features 7 inversions throughout its layout and rides through them more intense than most rides of the genre. I've had the fortunate opportunity of riding every B&M floorless coaster in America, and I'd say Kraken is one of the best and most intense ones. SeaWorld's newest coaster, as well as their first launch coaster, is Icebreaker. This premier ride's creation just opened this past February after 2 years of COVID-19 delays. Despite its small stature, it has a lot of really good airtime moments. The quadruple launch section, where you go backwards and forwards, has bunny hills on either side that launch you out of your seat. That and everything after the top hat rounds out one of the best coasters the manufacturer has to offer. The most unique coaster in the park's lineup is actually barely a roller coaster at all. Journey to Atlantis is a mock rides water coaster with one short coaster section at the end of the ride. The rest of Atlantis is slow moving with a few sizable drops in a splashdown section splitting up the dark ride moments. I'd say that's the best thing about Journey to Atlantis is the sheer amount of theming in the first half. It's actually really impressive what they did here, and it's easily the most well-themed Atlantis ride across the SeaWorld chain. Lastly, they do have a coaster for kids in the Little Sesame Street area of the park. This is a really nice area for the little ones, and the coaster, while a bit rough, is relatively large for a kids ride. In terms of non-coaster rides that you might want to check out, Infinity Falls is one of the best rapids rides ever built. It has one of the tallest drops in the world for its ride genre, an elevator lift hill, a few speed sections, and some pretty intense rapids. That said, Infinity Falls does suffer from a lot of downtime due to its complexity, so if you see it running, don't pass up a ride. Other than that, they don't have any thrilling flat rides, which I think is a bit of a missed opportunity on their end. SeaWorld San Antonio in Texas has recently started to add some flat rides, and it's really rounding out their collection. I'd personally love to see this park do what they did and get an S&S Scream and Swing and Little Pendulum ride. It would also be interesting if they had some sort of drop tower, but because of the recent accident at Icon Park, I don't think they're in any sort of rush to do that. One thing that is a shame about this park is that they no longer have any dark rides. They used to have 2. One was a trackless dark ride themed to penguins, and the other was an outdated simulator ride. I understand why they left the park, but I still think missing a dark ride, especially in a market dominated by parks that have them, is unfortunate. Still, their ride lineup is very solid overall, and it doesn't seem like they'll be slowing down with the investments either. In terms of atmosphere and general appearance, this park excels. It's landscaped to perfection throughout all areas of the park, and as I said earlier, that lake in the center is a spectacle. There's really no way for me to nag them in scenery, especially because it's in Florida. Occasionally you'll see some cool birds flying around, which actually elevates the tropical feel. I will say though, SeaWorld Orlando is not my favorite park in terms of food offerings. I'm sure it's improved since last year, but in the summer of 2021, I went to the park and I could not find anything good. I eventually had to settle with a popcorn bucket, which is saying something because I don't even like popcorn, but basically every eatery had a long line and every food stand had nothing but popcorn and water. So food could definitely use some work, but maybe I'm just outdated. Outside of the things I just mentioned, I don't have many bad things to say about SeaWorld Orlando. I think if you're given a chance to visit during a vacation to Orlando, you absolutely should. It is one of the best theme parks in Florida for roller coasters, and the park visually looks fantastic. So for their final score, I'll be giving them an 8 out of 10. I really like this park, and I think they have a bright future ahead of them. With the addition of a new coaster from Bolliger and Mabillard and potential new flat rides, SeaWorld Orlando is only going to go up from here. It's the exact definition of a park that focuses on quality opposed to quantity. They may not have very many rides, but they are all pretty great and serve well in the park's ride lineup. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this park and where you'd rank it amongst other SeaWorld parks. Also be sure to like this video and subscribe for more reviews coming soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.